Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm just going to be going over a lot of my gears. Um, this is going to take place right before the flame compensation, where, I don't know, I'll probably get like a couple hundred flames back. And I guess it's just a pretty good timing to get another mark down for what my gears look like. I think my last one was maybe 3 or 4 months ago, post equality cubes or something like that. I'm actually not sure. Um, But yeah, today I'll just go over my gears, my familiars, because I have done a lot of work on familiars, some upgrades on gear. I think my last gear video was probably in December because I got my Outlaw Heart, which I don't think I've shown yet. But yeah, um, basically a lot of it is just Star Force improvements, item replacements. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and start with totems. So the King of Beasts totem, Otherworld Cygnus, Dark Doom. Ideally, I'd just run triple Dark Doom. I'd gain 2 attack and 8 stat here, and then 1 attack and 7 stat here. It's minimal. I like these because I can trade them with between characters, so I'll just use them. And it doesn't make sense to buy Dark Doom totems for like 6 bill. So whatever. For my Superior Ring, I think you guys actually saw me cubing the B-Pot on this one. I might have 22 starred it since then. Might have already been 22 stars, but I have 22 star, 27 main pot with 18% all stat, and then 11% at strength with 4% all stat B pot. Reinforced Gallix Ring, because I've definitely seen this one before. 22 stars, 33% strength main pot, 8% all stat plus 18 strength B pot. Solid Gallix Ring, 20 stars. I believe this is scrolled with premium accessory scrolls for attack with 30% strength, 12% strength. B-Pot, and I'm thinking of replacing this with a 22 star Conus Treasure if I ever get one, or if they ever decide to fix Princess No Prequests, because right now Hayato is being lazy. At the end of the day, I don't think it'll do much. Say I got a Conus Treasure, it's 5 all stat, 1 attack with 3 slots, so I lose 4 to 5 attack from the 1 scroll, but I gain around like, I think 18 stat, or 22 stat, and like 20 attack. Obviously I'd lose a little bit. It's like basically paying like a lot of billion mesos for like a couple stars, like 1 star difference, like 1.5 stars. Still debating on it because I have to cube and everything too. My stirring, I'm either going to 22 star this myself or find a ring that has 22 stars with similar lines. This is also premium scrolled. Yeah, I ideally would just find a 22 star ring and buy that and then sell this one. Because I rarely even use this ring now, so it doesn't really matter. And I'll show you guys that one in a bit. My Gold Richie's Handkerchief. Hopefully, I get lucky in a hard will run or something and get a Will's Red Pocketbook. Just so I can go to the Dark Boss set. Right now this is like pretty trash at 48.5. If I'm done flaming everything else by the end of the flame compensation event, I'll probably throw a few flames on another Gold Richie's Handkerchief and go for like 70 and 6 or something like that. Ever since the flame change, I heard it's much easier to get really high stats. We have my one and only 22 star Pendant. I think the only change I made to this was flaming it, so I flamed it from like 32 strength or something like that to 4% all set, 24 strength. The potentials are the same. I might have cubed the B-Pot to hit 12% strength, but yeah. I have a Superior Gallix Pendant, which was probably 17, 18, or 19 star when I last showed it off. I basically just throw random Star Force, like just do random Star Force attempts on my items that aren't already 22 stars. Just because the 1 or 2 stars doesn't really matter for my range. But ideally, again, I find a 22 star Pendant that has 30 main pot, 12 B pot, and the scrolling and stuff I can do if that's a thing. I think usually they're already scrolled when they're 22 stars though, but it doesn't really matter. My weapon, which I'm also memeing on, 15 stars right now. It was probably 17 or 18 when you guys last saw it. Again, the extra like 20 stat and 30 attack maybe doesn't really do much for me. So I just YOLO from time to time, and if I get lucky, I get lucky, which is kind of what I've been doing. Superior Engraved Gallix Belt. This I have 22 stars since the last time you guys have seen it. Potential wise, it's the exact same. Yeah. My hat, that's 22 stars, probably also the same since the last time you guys have seen it, 27% strength, plus 2 strength per 10 and 1 crit damage. A lot of people are saying to upgrade to a cooldown hat. Now, cooldown, for those of you guys who play Adele and don't really know, the only skill it really affects that's like very important is your Aether Bloom. And basically, you do it so that you can fit in 2 of these within 1 Ring of Restraint buff. But again, I don't really see the value in it. I feel like most of the time I don't even use Aether Bloom unless I like actively try to remember. So I will stick to my 27% strength. Again, these are my preferences. Yeah. I have a 17-star Sweetwater tattoo, and this item really triggers me because I think I've thrown like 20, not even 20 bill on it, probably like 10 bill on this, and it's probably boomed on me like 27 times. It's actually so triggering because I would rather use Sweetwater than to go the Dark Boss set, but these items just don't want to Star Force up, so I'm thinking about just making a Dark Boss set and just keeping that at 17 stars and priming it, because apparently these don't want to go up in anything. I've gotten to it to 19 stars a couple of times, but hitting that 20 stars is just impossible, so I'm just whatever. It was Sweetwater Monocle that I transposed, probably 18 or 19 stars last time you guys saw it. The potential and everything's probably the same. I think I cubed this during the last Violet cube session, so you guys probably saw that one on camera too. So everything's probably the same. Again, this is Spell Traced. I could get a couple... I could lose a little bit of stat and gain a lot of attack if I premium accessory scrolled this, but again, I'm thinking about Dark Boss set. So yeah. Top, this is definitely the exact same when you guys last saw it. 26. I haven't really touched these, and I don't really plan to, because tops and bottoms are so hard to cube. Bottom's also the same from the last time you guys saw it. It's pretty much as good as it's ever gonna get. Getting a 33% B main pot or a 12% B pot is, you know, always an option, but it's such a minimal gain for how expensive it would be to make that upgrade. Arcane Umbra Night Shoes. I think I also made these during a Violet Cube event that I showed, because I think during that one event I 33%ed every single arcane that I have. Which I'm super lucky for, but yeah. Probably gonna try to 22 star these after I figure out what I'm gonna do with my Sweetwater and then these 2 accessories. I was considering running a Reaper's Pendant that's 22 stars. Just because, you know, it's that extra life in boss is pretty helpful, and like it's a very minimal stat difference. Especially if I can find a 22-star Reaper's Pendant for like a fair price. Earrings, I also have 22-star these since the last time you guys saw them. Otherwise, the potential I'm probably never going to change. Upgrading to a 30% 2-line doesn't really matter that much to me, because a strength plus 10, strength per 10 character levels plus 1 is about equal to like 3.5% strength, 4% strength to me, so it kind of makes up for the loss in the main pot. Shoulder, again, you guys have probably seen this. Oh, I did make one upgrade. One of my friends was memeing me about not plus 18 attacking this item. So during the last event, I got 6 ICOG passes that each gave at least 6 attack and some stat. It's huge. It's huge. Potentials again are the same. I'm probably going to try to Star Force these, but I'm not looking forward to, because Meserites and Aurora are currently like, I want to say 20k in X's will buy you like 1 bill mesos. So every tap is going to cost me like, what is that, 160 something mil, which is like a seventh of $20, which is almost $3 a tap, I think. It's crazy. Or 3k in X a tap, so. Meso prices, man. Arcane Gloves, you guys saw me Equality Cube these. I got 18% crit damage, and that's pretty much the only change I've made. It's actually funny too, because in one of the Star Force events, I actually got all of my Arcanes to 18 stars. And then one of the days I was feeling super cringe and decided to Star Force them again, and I failed 4 times in a row. And they're all back to 17. Emblem's the same. Heroes of Legend, still the same. I'm probably going to replace this with either a Monster Park badge or a Genesis badge unless next one decides to give us potable badges back. Or, you know, sell us like a Super P-Sock for like 700 KNX so I can transfer over my Xenons. Sen Goku or Ghost Ship badge. I'd be very appreciative if they did that, but I don't think they ever will. I ended up getting the 7-day Monster Park medal after 539 Monster Park runs. Again, like I said, if I can get the 7 days badge, this will be huge because I'll get 30% IED in total from my badge and my medal. That'll put me at around 98% IED, I think. Again, which is really huge. I don't know if you guys have seen this upgrade, but I used to run a 21% attack, 20% boss until I found this in the auction house with the B pot for like 10 bill. And at that time, I think I sold my secondary for like, I want to say 5 or 6 bill, so I paid like 4 bill for the upgrade, and that basically got me to an attack B pot, which can take hundreds of Ks of an X. McCabe, you guys have seen this one. B pot was done during the last DMT, and then the main pot was done with the last Violet Cube event. Oh, I got Battle Raid. Around the time I got an Outlaw Heart, I also upgraded to a Battle Raid because Wondroid, the item I was using last. So these two, this was absolutely sick. So you guys can see right now, that's my Outlaw Heart on the right, and it shows a minus 5.7 mil range because the Glimmering Wondroid Heart isn't compatible with my Battle Raid, which is really stupid in my opinion, but it's whatever at the end of the day. I think it's in reality like a minus 2 mil range difference. But yeah, I ended up getting a 33% strength main pot Outlaw Heart, a 9% strength, 14 attack B pot Outlaw with a 17 stars primed. Probably the biggest upgrade I've made since the last time I posted an equip video besides all my Star Force gains. But yeah, super happy about this. And that pretty much goes over all my gear. I've since maxed out all my symbols. During the last event, I also finished this to +8 and then this to +3. So I gained about, what is that, 46 attack. This has been done, and I'll probably switch it out for a back pet once the new ones come out. Or I'll just leave it as is, like this, because I don't really need 3 back pets. And if anything, I think I'd want Glory, so yeah. So that sums it up for all my main gear. You can see here I'm 61,444 stat, 54 mil range with Maple Warrior. And if I try to cut it off, you can see I'm 59,807 without Maple Warrior. Now the links that I'm using with this is Fury Unleashed level 2, Venom Instinct level 2, Light Wash level 2, Wild Rage level 2, Close Call, Judgment, Spirit of Freedom, Terms and Condition 3, Invincible Belief 6, Empirical Knowledge 6, Thief's Cunning 6, Focus Spirit 3. If I were to get rid of all of my utility links, I equipped Hybrid Logic. What's the other damage one? Oh, Solus. And then I believe Kana Link is the one that I'm missing right here. I get up to 58.5 mil range, and I am at 62k stat. Now I mentioned earlier that for a majority of my bossing, I actually don't use my Meistering. So I take this out, and I put in my Ring of Restraint. So this decreases my stat although to 59,186 and 55,3184. But if I were to use the buff that I get from the Ring of Restraint, I'm at 79 mil range for 15 seconds, which is pretty insane. Especially for a whole 15 seconds during Infinity Blade, it's absolutely huge. It increases my damage output by about, I think, 15% final damage over the 40-second period. So if I do that, I actually do end up losing damage over time, but one of the things that the ring's really good for is bursts, right? So just because having a massive burst damage, say during the Hardwell solo that I just uploaded, you see when in phase 1, when I use Infinity to life out the first bar, and then map switch, I use Roar to life out the second bar. Without the Roar, that wouldn't be possible, which is why I use it. So that little short burst of extra damage boost is actually really significant, especially when you're just comparing it to this 3 mil range, which is like 2, maybe 4% final damage. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. So I guess it'd be more realistic. I'll go ahead and show you guys a battle analysis too, so you guys understand how strong I am with this ring, and then I'll make another video comparing my Meister ring to my Ring of Restraint. Last but not least, the gear that I've been working on that I mentioned a bit earlier is a Dark Boss set. So I ended up getting a Magic Eye Patch from a Damien run, and I threw some cubes on it, threw some flames on it, and this is what I ended up with. In hindsight, that was probably really stupid of me, especially if I plan on going to 22 stars with this. But as you can see, with no scrolling and no Star Force, it's only 683k worse than my current monocle. So I think after I prime it or accessory attack scroll it and then 17 start, this will probably give me about 1 to 2 mil range over my current eye patch. Not current eye patch, my current Sweetwater eye accessory. So I think 17 star Dark Boss would actually be a significant improvement, especially if I can't Star Force my Sweetwaters. Obviously, if I 22 starred my Sweetwaters, this would be a completely different story, but at this point, I feel like it makes more sense to 22 star my Arcanes instead of my Sweetwaters, just because Sweetwaters are permanently untradeable. Also, doesn't really make sense. So even if I got all my Arcanes to 22 stars, all my accessories minus my potential Dark Boss set to 22 stars, these at 17 wouldn't really be that much of a damage difference. For me anyways. So I'll put this here and put this here. Try not to toss it on accident. And I'll go ahead and buy a Doja dummy and cut right back. Okay, so I'm back. I have a Doja dummy right here. And what I'll do is show you guys my damage with my Ring of Restraint and without my Ring of Restraint with all of my damage buffs on. And then I'll do this again with my Meister ring equipped, so I will be buffing up everything just to show you guys how much damage output you can do in like, I don't know, however many seconds, 40 seconds. And guild skills, so I just have to remember that. Oh, I didn't show my familiars. So I said I made a bunch of upgrades on familiars and I completely ignored it. So I ended up getting 40% boss, 40% IED on my Orchid. This is the same at 50% boss damage. And this is 30% boss. From time to time I switch this out for this Golem that has 50% IED. I know if this is 30% boss, 20 IED, it'd be so perfect, but it's not, so it's whatever. But yeah, this is my current familiar setup, and this is my badge collection that's very minimal in gains, but some people like to see it anyways. So this is my juiced up range. I think the only thing I'm missing right now is exclusive spell, and then my guild whatevers. My guild whatevers. I hate doing battle analyses because I mess up a lot, but I'll try to do my best here to have very representative battle analyses that are very representative of, or that are very similar to each other, because obviously that's gonna vary the damage output. So these are all in, summon familiars. I'm actually going to take them off so I can do damage and charge up some stuff beforehand. So 275 dummy, actually I think that makes a lot of sense. I know some of you guys want to see the 230 lucid one, but it doesn't really make a difference. So I'll go ahead and charge up my spawn. Okay, so that's charged up. And basically what I do, I like to have 6 swords up, ready to go. They last 40 seconds now, so it's whatever, and then I will summon familiars, hit this again, charge up my 3, and then do this, 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 use that. I have 15 seconds to pop my roar, which I do right now, and then forgot to use my whatever, but it's okay. The only thing you really need to keep an eye out for here is your swords, so you don't want to overcast them, because if you do, again, you lose damage, and if you don't cast them, you also lose damage. So Closing up on the 35-second mark here, this is a less than perfect battle analysis, but that's fine. And right here in my 40 seconds, 15.4 trill. And if I arrange this in terms of accumulated damage, Infinity is at 5, 2, 1.75, 1.48, 1. I think the only thing that I always mess up on is Aether Bloom. This should do significantly more, and so should Aether Forge. As you can see, it's hit 20 times. I think it's supposed to hit like similar to Cleave, so it's hit 60 times. So you can see I barely ever use these attacks, but and I think that has to do with my maximization. So I like to show these just in case, so you can see 15.4, and I will cut back when my burst is up, and I have another dojo dummy. Okay, so we're back. All my skills are up again, so I'll go ahead and plant this one. 275 for the sake of consistency, and I'll start spawning and hitting. Basically just need to charge up enough swords. There we go, now we're good. So I can summon familiars now. Pop buffs. And then summon this. I goofed and forgot to charge. It's kind of awkward. One more. 13.6. So I think this is actually a much better battle analysis than I did. So I do about 800 billion less damage on my Infinity Blade. Hunting Decree, 212, 56 times on here. Aether Forge also 21 times, so I messed up. Or they're actually pretty similar in both of these at the end of the day. Aether Bloom, Ruin 20 times. Humble Summons, Magic Dispatch, Legacy, all that. So if I do this, I did about 1.4 trill, which is like 10% of my final damage. I think both of them were a little scuffed. But yeah, it's kind of hard to do this. So at the end of the day, 1.4 trill damage, about 10% final damage increase over the 40 seconds. That's with these stats. So this is the final stat window. I'm going to let you guys see this one more time before I end it. I guess another mention that I should put in here is that I am using the Tasty title. Hasty is Tasty, which gives you 20 attack, 50 offset, 30 boss, 30 IED, which I'll have until 420. So thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see where my stat goes post this flame compensation, if it even changes at all. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Peace!